Hi guys, welcome to our webinar. We're just gonna wait a few more minutes to see if there are any more people joining, and then we'll start with the webinar. So just so you know, if you do have any questions, feel free to write it in the chat, and we will both make sure to either during our webinar try to answer it. Otherwise, we will try to answer all the questions either via chat or just give us a shout in the end. So we'll wait until we have at least 20 people, and then we can slowly start. If anyone cannot hear anything or anything like that, please let us know as well. That way we can make sure to try to fix that. All right, so I think we should get started. Welcome, guys. My name is Carl Steinbeck. I am the Partnerships Manager for Leadinfo, and together with Mustafa Ali, who is the Head of Sales at webCRM in Denmark, we will be discussing how to automate your sales and process with Leadinfo and webCRM. So you will know how the integration works and what you can do with that integration, specifically with the Leadinfo data into the webCRM to better your sales and marketing flow. So just a quick agenda. So we're going to start off with a quick introduction of both webCRM and Leadinfo. Thereby, we're going to have two product demos. The first one being Leadinfo, and then show you how some functionalities, and thereby some best practices. And then moving on from that, we will show you how we can use that data in the webCRM, as well as some basic understanding of how to use webCRM. Thereby, we're going to quickly go through the three advantages that we think are the most important with our integration. And finally, like I mentioned before, we will have a quick Q&A where we will answer any questions via chat, or if you want to speak up, that's also fine. So Leadinfo is a B2B lead generation tool that identifies all the companies that go on your websites, gives you the journey they've done on your website, and gives you all the information about those companies, including LinkedIn contacts and personal company emails. A lot of our clientele uses us to improve their data-driven marketing, boost their sales, and as well as help drive their company strategies. We do have around 50 plus unique CRM integrations, one of which is together with our friends from Denmark, webCRM. You are on mute, Musa, just so you know.
I should not be on mute anymore. Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, great. Yeah, as Carl said, my name is Mustafa Ali, and I'm responsible for the sales operation in webCRM in Denmark. So a short introduction of the company. Basically, what webCRM does is to create the golden overview of a company's customers, their activities, and their pipeline. We do that by gathering all customer data and all customer interactions in one single platform. In that way, we create structure and we make sure that our clients always remember to follow up on their customers, and in that way keep a strong relation. Today we have more than 20,000 users on our platform, and we have customers in several different European countries. We were founded in 2005, and back then we were actually the first cloud-based CRM system in Denmark, which was a pretty big deal. Yeah, that was just a short introduction to the company.
All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to show you a bit of the Leadinfo portal, because I know there's a lot of webCRM users and a little Leadinfo users. So I'm going to show you what we do and how you can use that for your sales and marketing activities. So just to start off with, this is the dashboard. This is the basic functionality of our software. It gives you the patterns and kind of stats on what's going on your websites. So just the first three things I want to point out is in the top part, you can see the most active companies on your website. So you can see who is actually a warmer lead than others. On the right hand side of that and on the left hand side of that, you can see the geographical, where they're based around the world. So as you can see, if you're a Dutch company, you'll always have the Dutch map there. And if you're a global company, we can make sure to change that for you for your liking as well. In the bottom, you have the general patterns. So you have the most popular company sizes that go on your website. So as a marketeer, you can see, okay, are my campaigns actually targeting the right size companies? We know that for us, we know that we prefer to have companies in between 0 and 200 people. And as you can see here, that matches the ranking. On the left-hand side, you can see it's meant for your marketeers again, as well as your web designers and developers. You can see what pages are the most visited. So are your most important pages being visited? So an example on how to use this is when you do create a new page, for example, or a new website, you can then actually before you put it live, you can write down, from 1 to 10 what the most popular or should be the most popular and most important pages on your website, and then you can analyze this on a quarterly fashion. At least that's what we do, and then we alter the website based on those statistics. Finally, we have the industries, the most popular industries that go on your websites. And here you can once again analyze your current campaigns, if they're reaching the right industries. However, you can also use it to see if there are industries that are really relevant to you that you haven't thought of. And then you can use that for your sales and marketing processes. Think outside the box on how to do so using this functionality. Moving on to the bread and butter of our software. This is the inbox. This is where we show you all the people that, all the companies that go on your website in an inbox format, which means it's just like your emails. And before I move on to what we show you per company, I just want to show you how you can filter everything. So on the left-hand side, you have the filtering options. The first thing is you can filter per period, when you want the companies to be shown. The companies that came in last week, in February, in 2022, or customized. Thereby, if you've only focused on, for example, Denmark or the UK, you can filter it based on the countries the companies actually come from, where they originated. And finally, this is extremely important for the marketeers out there. You can see what channels are your website visitors coming from. And even one better, you can also see by adding Google Ads, you can see where they came from on your paid search. So what is your ROI counts? Is it relevant or not? As you can see here, our Google Ads made up of 137 companies this week, and that is, for us, that's relatively good. Moving on, you can, as mentioned, we have 50 plus CRM integrations. We have, as you can see here, HubSpot, but most importantly, we also have webCRM. But here you can see all the companies that are already found in your CRM system. So either they're in your pipeline or you've had some form of contact with them before. And you also have all the companies that are not shown in the CRM system. And that means they're completely new to your pipeline, which means they're very, very interesting. And if you are a B2B e-commerce, if you have a B2B e-commerce platform, for example, you can also see what pages people are interested in based on filtering here. Finally, you can label every single company with exactly what you want. You can create any kind of label right here and then start adding labels to each company. So for us, we do several types of labels. We do one label, for example, as a general hot lead for us. So we have a very specific buyer persona, and those are our hot leads, how many pages, where they go, and so on and so forth. However, we also have it based on salespeople. So for example, for me, it would be every company that comes from the UK, I would then put in hot leads Carl. Or every company comes from Denmark, hot leads Carl. That somehow we can do that, and you can do that based on anything really you want. Now, going on to what you get for each company is this. So this is a Dutch company. As you can see here, you get the general information. So this company was actually founded in 2008. You can see the employee count, the branch code, the branch name, and the international branch code, which is really important if you are a company that focuses on the various industries, and that's how your sales process works, or if you're a company that has a sales process via the regions. Below that, you also have the legal information about the company, so the legal entity, the registration number, into the structure, and so on. And finally, the board of directors. If it's a large company, you will have a whole list, and if it's a small company, well, then it's most likely going to be the general manager or the CEO. On the right-hand side here, you get you have the general contact details with their addresses and their general phone number and email, as well as their websites. We will also show you all the socials that we can link to this company below that. And finally, you have the financial figures of the last 3 years. Below that, you have the comment section, and the comment section is to make sure that your whole team is in the same boat. Everyone knows exactly what you guys are doing with this company, so you don't, for example, call them 3 times instead of 1 time. And finally, you have the customer journey on your websites. So as you can see here, last week, this is a fresh potential customer. They went on our pricing page during 3 sessions, and each session was a 2-minute long session, as you can see here, and they went on pricing and integration page, which means that this is a very, very warm lead. And you can also see that they came from the source, which is Google, and the medium organic. And if you do have a campaign out there, you'll be able to see exactly what campaign that they came from when you connect your Google Ads to when you integrate Google Ads, which is very easy to do. And finally, you have all the LinkedIn contacts with their LinkedIn profiles ready to go, as well as the email addresses. So just an example on how you can use that is that when you see a company that's interested in pricing, you can then see what person exactly is your buyer persona in that company, and then reach out and contact them. As you can see here, and the reason why we're here, you can also link this with webCRM. So I'm actually going to link this company because it's a very interesting company for myself. So what I'll do is I'm going to link this company to myself, and the company will be obviously is named Bergstein BV, and then I can just create and link, and then that company is now linked to the webCRM. I can also manually create a task here saying that I'm going to say call, and then the action, call first contact, and the action is call. And then I can set a date. I'm going to set it for today, and then save task. And Muzaffar will explain later on where this goes into the webCRM system. However, keeping that in mind, I know everyone is very, very busy, so they don't want to do this manually. That's why we created a trigger function, which makes this process very easy, and you can automate this whole workflow. What do I mean by that? The trigger function is a rule to action function, meaning that you can set criteria for each companies, and when that criteria is ticked off, you can make someone the company owner on webCRM. So we can make one together. We're going to make one based on our sales process. So for us, we do when the country is, we're going to start off in Netherlands, and or we can say or the company or the country is from United Kingdom. When any of those following rules apply, well then I'm going to do like this. I'm going to say create new or connect with existing companies, select company owner, and then I'm going to create a new task that says call first contact select option, and I'm going to make it for the next day. This means that whenever a company fits this criteria, a person will become the company owner on webCRM. And as you can see here, it is completely personalized. So you can do when the branch code international is 1, 2, 3, 4, then salesperson A becomes a company owner on webCRM. You can do when they've been on your website more than once. You can choose how many times they should be there before they become a hot lead, what page has it been on. So if you're a B2B e-commerce platform, that is extremely important, and you can use that data for then your sales and marketing activities. Now, what happens when I click Enable Actions? Well, I think Mustafar will take over from here and show you how that data or what that data does in the webCRM function.
Yep. Thank you, Carl. I'm just going to share my screen. And please let me know what you see now.
We see your screen now.
Okay, good. Good. Okay, so this is the home page or the front page in webCRM when you log in. At the top of the screen, what you see is the different entities in the system, and all of these are renamable, which means that you can name them whatever you would like to. So it actually speaks your company's tongue. So, for example, some people, they call organizations for clients or for members or for partners, and you can choose them whatever you want you can choose to call them whatever you want to call them. So this screen is basically just all about me logging in as a user and being able to see what I should be looking at today, what I got outstanding, and what I got overdue. And I can customize this view completely as I want to. So if I'm working in sales, for example, it might be that I want to see my opportunities as the first box, because that is really important for me. But if I'm in customer success or a support team, then it might be that support tickets is more important, and I will prioritize to choose that upfront. Throughout the whole system, almost all of the pages, there are this wheel here. And this wheel just means that you can personalize the screen. You can customize it so you are able to see what is most important to you in your role in the company. On the right side here, what you have is your own user area. And what you see here is the Leadinfo logo. So for a company or a customer, they would put in their own logo. You will always be able to see your recent items, so you can quickly enter those. And if you want to, if there's a company or an activity that you're working a lot with, then you are able to give it a star, and then it will be among your favorites here. So now if I click a company, if I choose, for example, this one, then what I will be able to see here is the customer card. And this area here, this area here is everything that happens in the system is actually stored there. So if there are any support tickets, support cases from this customer, if there are any meetings or any documents, everything will be stored in one place on this customer card, so you are able to enter all of these, and you know which customer it belongs to. And at the same way, the emails from the customer would also be stored here. We have a full integration to Office 365 and Google Suite. So if you're using Outlook, for example, you are able to synchronize your emails from your customers in the CRM system as well. You're also able to send out emails from the web CRM system, and you can use templates by doing so, or you can just create an email from scratch. And within this system here, you can also, if we press the edit button here, then here there's a lot of fields, and here it's also you're also able to add your own fields. So for example, if you want to segment your customers based on territory, you can do it here. We already have a field for that. But if you want to create your own field and segment your customers in another way, you can also do that. So it's really flexible, and you can choose how you want to segment your own customers. So if I go back to the company card, what I can see here is that on this customer here, for process, there's 3 activities related to this customer right now. One of them is red, one of them is yellow, and one of them is green. So the red means it's overdue. The yellow means I have to take action on this today. And the green means that this is an upcoming activity. And this is actually also how our sales flow works. So the way we are approaching our prospects and customers, we try by giving them a call, which is the first one here. And if we don't reach them, then we give it another go by calling once again. And if that doesn't work either, or there's no contact, then we will try with an email. So that was just to explain the sales flow. But for the purpose of the demo, what I'm going to show is the complete activities page. And here I see a list of all my activities. I can filter those based on a lot of different data. I can choose to see here that I just want to see the activities of Carl, or if I would like to see all activities for different users in the system as well. Right now, I'm going to choose Carl. Here we have them. And what you see here is a lot of activities and a lot of organization names planned for the 25th of February, tomorrow. And these are actually integrated by Leadinfo by the rules that Carl have set. So for example, I know that this one here, let's just say Printing Group Netherlands. If I enter this one, then I can see there's an activity planned for tomorrow, which is created completely automatically by the Leadinfo integration. And from here, from this activity page, I can start logging everything I have spoken with the customer about. So for example, let's say was not in the office, try tomorrow. Then I can just add that as a new task, and then it will save it for me for tomorrow. And if you're doing a lot of, for example, if you're doing a lot of outbound work and you have a lot of activities that you need to go through throughout the day, then I can quickly navigate in those activities by moving back and forth throughout the different activities. Yeah, I think that was it on the webCRM demo.
Perfect. Then what I'll do is I'm going to go back to my screen. And we're just going to do a quick recap on what the most important features are with this integrations. So I know for our company, in order to automatically qualify leads and distribute them, what we do is that we base that on region. So based on region and also even sometimes the branch code, depending on what the salesperson is in charge of. So for example, for me, I look for partners in the UK, Sweden, Denmark, and Norway, which means I look for marketing agencies. So I filtered those two out, and all those companies go onto my name in webCRM. What do you guys do, Musa?
Well, just to explain the organization, I'm managing a team of five sales executives right now. They are based on different geographical locations here in Denmark. And the way I use the tool is actually by putting in some rules saying that if a specific prospect or potential customer have visited the pricing website and have been on the pricing website, on the webCRM pricing website for more than 10 seconds, then we will actually create a lead, an organization, and create an activity. And based on where this customer is from, then this lead will be distributed to the sales executive responsible for that region. So that of course saves me a lot of time in manually getting the leads and looking at, okay, where is this company located? Who of my colleagues, who of my sales executives should I send this to? Because this is completely automized in the Leadinfo.
Yeah, perfect. And the way that has increased productivity for us is also with the use of the task function, and how we can use tasks in order to really automate this process from Leadinfo to webCRM. The task function is perfect, and also within webCRM, you can always change the day to push that task, and that really drives our productivity by a long shot. So does it do the same for you, or?
Yeah, well, I think looking at how it increases the productivity, I think there's two factors that are really important. One thing is that it saves us some time, a lot of time actually, in putting in the organization in the CRM system, putting in the activity and typing all of these things. Because when using the integration here, you get the organization name integrated from Leadinfo, you get the activity integrated from Leadinfo. So you actually get to spend time on the most funny part, which is to actually speak with the customers and not to to type in a lot of things. So that's one factor that increases productivity. The other thing is also that now we are actually using our efforts using our what do you say, we prioritize the right leads. Now we are the leads or the prospects that we are reaching out to, we know for a fact that they have some kind of interest in our company, because otherwise they would not have visited the website at all. So in prioritizing which prospects to call, it has helped us a lot and saved us a lot of time in calling completely cold prospects who have no interest at all.
Yeah, exactly. And that automatically goes into our last point and how that drives conversion. Instead of spending time on very, very cold leads, you do spend time on these warmer leads that have already shown interest on your website, but not only that, on a specific part of your website. So you can use that to really personalize your sales pitch or your marketing campaigns. On top of that, with the workflows, just like we talked about with the task and so on, it really makes it easier to just um, productively productively create a workflow. But then also with integrations with Outlook and so on, and having templates, then you can send those templates without having to write all the emails out the entire time. And the templates, not only do they work to make things faster, but also with a template, when someone in the sales team for us, for example, has a really good template, then he or she sends that to the whole sales team as is a proven template, and something that works for responses. And that's kind of a good way to end this thing. Unless Musa, you have something else. In
No, I
my
just want
opinion,
to. I just wanted to add that in when speaking of driving conversions, what's also a really cool feature is that when you do have a prospect in webCRM, for example, um, and this prospect visited a webCRM's website or another website, the rules you have set up, then you will actually be able to see this visit on the activities page in webCRM as well in your system, which means that if you're working as a sales executive and you're not really sure when to call the customer, when to reach out to the customer the next time, you can actually see on the different companies when they have visited in webCRM. So you know that, okay, this might be a hot lead right now because they are once again looking at our website.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then Musa, just to for people who are interested in trying out webCRM, how do they get in? Can they get a free trial, or can they get a meeting, or how does it work?
Yeah, well, we are really flexible in regards to that. So it's possible to book a demo, a personal demo from our website, and it's also possible just to book a free trial on 40 or 2 weeks. Then you will be able to use the system completely as a customer. For 2 weeks, you will be able to add your own logo, add your own customers, and so on and so forth. And we will reach out to you during those 2 weeks and help you to get started in a good way.
All right, perfect. Well, then to end things off, for if you want to try out Leadinfo, we offer a 2-week free trial with no obligations, meaning no cards or anything needed. Within those 2 weeks, we will then estimate a price proposal and send it to you on day 10. And if you have any questions during these 2 weeks, you can always call our awesome customer success team or email me at carl@leadinfo.com, Carl with a C. I'm also sending you a link where you can directly sign up for a free trial. That's in the chat right now. So moving on to the Q&A. The first question I want to I saw that Patricia, you had a question regarding how we actually tag the website visitors and how we identify them, as well as the GDPR compliancy. So the way we identify companies is actually based upon the company IP address as well as the organization numbers. We connect those two, and then thereby we identify what company it actually is. On top of that, you mentioned that with the people's list, so I'm guessing you're talking about the LinkedIn profiles as well as the emails. Well, because it's all work related, it's all GDPR compliance, and that's why we will never be able to identify or a person working from home without a VPN, because that's against GDPR compliance. So we have a strong team behind us that only focuses on GDPR, and to be sure to stay on top of things. Does anyone else have any questions? I see some
Some
people
some
right.
some people are typing, yeah.
Yep. So we'll just wait for that. Just give it a few seconds, a few more minutes, and then we can, unless everyone no one wants any more questions, and we can end this. Just give it a few minutes. I think that you can also speak out, guys, in case that's easier. Just so you know. All right.
So there's a question.
So yeah. So a very fair point. But going back to your point with GDPR compliancy, we will actually not see the actual person who came in your company. However, just to kind of combat that, I think a very important thing for a company to have is a buyer persona. That does not only mean what kind of companies they target, but even more importantly, who in that specific company are you targeting? And thereby you can use the job description on a LinkedIn section to see, all right, this is the person that I'm going to contact. For example, for me, I usually only worry about two people, and depending on the size of the company, it's the marketing manager, digital marketing manager, or the CEO, or GM, or something like that. Those are the only two positions that I actually have in mind when I reach out to companies that go on our website. Did that answer your question, Patricia? And if anyone has any more questions after this call, you can always, like I said, email me at carl@leadinfo.com, or even call our hotline and ask for me as well. All right, then if no one has any more questions, we'll wait a few more minutes. And to the people if people are leaving, thank you so much for attending. I hope this was a good webinar for you and helpful. And we both appreciate you coming. And like we said, feel free to contact us for a free trial or any more info.
Yeah, it seems there's no more questions.
I think we can stop this. That nice awkward silence is always good at the end. So, thank you so much, guys, and thank you, Mustafa. And I wish you guys a lovely weekend ahead.
Yeah, thank you.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.